Welcome to the video chem lab, my first one, and we'll see how it goes. So this is the chem lab balanced chemical equations, and the purpose was to examine the relationship between amounts of reactants and products in a chemical reaction. Also just solidifying our understanding of stoich and like how we can use it in real world applications and real world experiments. In this lab, we used a pretty long materials list. We always need safety goggles. We had 6 large test tubes. Test tube rack. Instead of using a 550 mil burettes, we used a graduated cylinder. We used a twin burette clamp, ring stand, glass marking pencil for when we wrote on. We made sure we did not mix up the chemical reagents because it's a very strong reaction. A 250 ml beakers, 6 rubber stoppers, a centimeter ruler, a dropper pipette, spot plate, plastic wash bottle, 0.5 mole or half mole lead to nitrate, and 0.5 sodium iodine, and distilled water. And of course, you always need to make sure safety's first. Here are our materials. So we had to make a slight adjustment to our procedure because of some difficulties and some lack of sodium iodine. So we still numbered 6 large clean dry test tubes, 1 through 6, because we got 6 test tubes, as we can see above, and we put different amounts of PB, NO3, and NAI in each one. And then we also looked, and we also changed the amount we have, so we followed different procedure in this section. So we filled the first test tube with 1 ml of PbNO3 and 8 ml of NaI, and then we did the second with 2 PbNO3, 7, and if we just examine the table, we can see what we did there. And then after we did this, I will show you videos of what the actual experiment looked like. Just having some technical difficulties getting them to overlap and watch videos at the same time. So once we filled them up and mixed the contents, stirring them and everything instead of shaking, which we made a little adjustment to number 5 in our procedure, is instead of shaking, we just stirred them with a stirring rod. And after filling up these 6 test tubes, stirring them, and then letting them sit, we have another set, and then we have our data table. So this is a step where we measure out our lead nitrate and sodium iodine. We get 35 and 30 mils of lead nitrate and 35 mils of sodium iodine. Once we got all of our materials, we poured our lead nitrate, or the correct amount of lead nitrate, into all of our 6 test tubes. We then measured out the correct amount of sodium iodine. Once we had the correct amount of sodium iodine, we poured it into the PbNO3, or lead nitrate, and we proceeded to stir it thoroughly and make sure the ingredients were all mixed up. Every time we used a stir stick, we would make sure we washed it so that no excess precipitate was going to contaminate the next test. After the precipitate had settled in all the test tubes, we measured the amount of vertical precipitate that had formed, so either 1 centimeter, 2 centimeters, or 1.1, or as you can see in this picture. We then put the supernatant of each test tube in a spot plate. We put 2 drops of each supernatant in 2 adjacent spot plate dishes, so we could test what was left over in each of the reactions.
Okay, so that one was I should be recording this.
So this is our, after we added in each spot plate sample, we added either PbNO3, which is lead nitrate, and or sodium iodine in each one. So we added added lead nitrate to the first spotlet of each one. So that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. And these are all supernatants of each. And then we added sodium iodine to this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. And as you can see in the first test tube, these two, the lead nitrate reacted. So that means we had excess sodium iodine in this. So this means excess NaI. Same with this one, so we had excess NaI in this one. We had the same reaction happen here, so we had excess NaI in that one. But here we can see a switch happened where when we added the PbNO3 to this one, no reaction occurred. So that means there was no NaI in this solution right here. So we knew that it means there was excess PbNO3 in this because we added PbNO3 to the second one, which is this one. So we can tell that PbNO3 was excess in this one. I'm just going to write Pb and then this one too.